we won't do an actual meditation practice. What we're going to talk about is the act of mindfulness in itself. And of course, this is part of the gratitude series, and we're looking at feelings today. So, in being mindful, we don't want to avoid what we're feeling. If we need additional help to express the full gamut of what we're feeling during whatever situation that we're experiencing that may feel a little bit overwhelming, then by all means seek the necessary help that you do need. So mindfulness looks at how it is that being present can be so useful in a time when one is feeling overwhelmed. And just acknowledging the moment as it is in the lesser experiences of the moment. So, for instance, overwhelm in the extreme might need the extra additional assistance that it requires. But I'm talking more about the everyday, day-to-day feelings of when you're feeling whatever it is that you're feeling, okay? So sometimes that might include feelings of joy, but you also want to make sure that the culture of happiness that is sort of floating around in the expectancy of being happy, 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 doesn't mean that you can't experience sadness and dismay and despair. You can feel joy, I would say. Joy is a more apt word to label what you can feel inside of yourself, that sense of contentment, or yeah, let's stick with the word joy, because I think joy really encompasses it. I think it's important that you can feel joy while acknowledging that you're feeling sadness or despair about your circumstances. Your joy can anchor you and help you to feel grounded during times that seem tumultuous or a storm-like experience that's perhaps not quite in your control. So don't try to force happy thoughts or resist it or any emotional response. Just allow yourself to feel that. You can gauge it, but never stifle it. So mindfulness teaches us how to do that. And the way I teach it, of course, is in a way that helps you through those moments, those phases that you might go through when you're experiencing something that you'd rather deny that it's happening, but that in the long run causes an eventful moment at the end if you don't actually acknowledge what you're experiencing now and allow your feelings to be the conduit for releasing that. A lot of people are afraid of their feelings. It's a terrifying thing to a lot of people. And I think it's really important to note that how do you manage your emotions during times that you're not certain about, during times that you feel fear, during times that you feel um, love or joy, or how do you manage your emotions? Do you show them or do you hide them? Do you suppress them? So mindfulness is something that can guide you through that. Mind, you have to find the right practitioner to teach you, because sometimes individuals are going through their own journeys and they might be a practitioner in the practice of mindfulness, but they themselves have not gone through the journey of exploring what their emotions actually tell them, if they allow them to come through at all. And everyone is in their different phases of the journey that they're experiencing when it comes to mindfulness, whether you're a practitioner or not. Now, if you're not afraid to face your emotions and you're open to being authentic about it, and I don't throw that word around lightly in this case, if you're being genuine about your emotions as a practitioner of yoga or mindfulness, etc., and you know how to show support to someone, then by all means, I'm speaking to the practitioners now, by all means, see if you can help someone in this area who might need it in this moment. But if you yourself, as a mindful practitioner or yoga therapist, etc., have not yet learned how to just accept your emotions for what they are and look into it and explore it and be fearless about it, then I suggest you refer that student to someone who actually is more along the path of being open about their own experiences and who can then guide that particular student towards that goal for themselves to truly explore it. So again, this is not for the faint of heart, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. Sometimes you just need to accept unpleasant emotions as part of the moment. And I'm saying that both to the mindfulness yogi practitioner or therapist, as well as their students and clients and etc. So if you're watching this and you're just an everyday average person who doesn't really practice any kind of yogic values or how to live one's life in a way that is holistic and open about expressing your emotions as part of that holistic practice, then this could be a very beneficial insight for you as you're watching this. Accept disappointment, sadness, anger, jealousy. A lot of people are afraid of admitting that they're jealous when they're chasing the dreams that others have set for themselves that they're content and happy with. But this person who's jealous wants what that person has. So when you're experiencing jealousy, there's a ton of reason why you're experiencing that. And if you're not ready to face that, then that can take you down a spiral of denial. So that's a for instance, right? An example of denying one's feelings. So allow yourself to feel them. That's the gist of all of this that I'm talking to you about. Of course, you want to be mindful of how you react to your feelings, as I stated at the top of this talk. Seek the necessary assistance that you need to walk you through it. And make sure you feel safe in the company of that person who's guiding you through your feelings. If that person who's got all the letters after their names, who's done all the training, who's gone through all the theory of practice, but he or she has not actually applied it to their own life and their own way in which they maneuver through experiencing what they need to experience, if they themselves haven't applied the theory and made it a practice, and they're therefore gaining the wisdom from that, if he or she has not done that, then they might not be the practitioner for you, regardless of whether they call themselves an advanced therapist or mindful advanced therapist, etc. If they themselves haven't actually done the work for themselves or can't admit that they're going through the work themselves, then they might not be the person to help you through your own feelings and how to express them and what they mean and whys and the hows, etc. It's important to find your way along your path in a safe way that makes you feel as though you can be vulnerable in that moment, because feelings make us vulnerable. And it's important that we admit it to ourselves when we need to be vulnerable. And again, I must say this, I must underscore all of this with this particular statement. Feelings are actually a sign of courage. If you can face what you're feeling and be comfortable about doing that, then you are brave, sir or madam. You are brave, right? To hide and suppress feelings that just says that there's a fear that stops you from doing that. And it's okay to admit that you're afraid. And that in itself is also an emotion, right? And so yes, so I teach people how to go through these processes and to be fearless about it. And it's important to note that. And again, a practitioner that says he or she does this and teaches people this or that regarding emotions, and they themselves are unable to do that, that is a sign that that practitioner might not be right for you in that moment for what you need. They might be useful to you in other ways, but they might not be able to help you in the time that you need emotional support, truly emotional support. Okay? So, yeah. So that's feelings for you. All right? So there's a wealth of knowledge that you can gain from accepting your feelings, facing them, and walking side by side with your feelings. There's a wealth of knowledge you can learn. And I just think it's really important that we continue to explore what that means for each and every one of us. What I experience with my feelings may not be what you experience with your feelings. So make sure you find a practitioner that knows how to identify a personalized approach for you. It has to be personalized to you when dealing with your feelings. Okay? All right. So I think that's all that I want to say about that mindful practice because, yes, mindfulness is a whole slew of things. It includes sitting down and meditating, but it has a whole litany of things that I think a lot of people forget in all the hubbub about living one's life mindfully. Okay? It is about meditation, but it is about so much more. And it's important for you to find the support that you need in order for you to actually practice a mindful lifestyle and to truly be grounded in yourself. It's so important, especially when it comes to feelings and emotions. All right? Okay. So that's my mindful take for today. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying your weekend and enjoying your day. All right. So get outside if you can and enjoy your day. Namaste.